Hi everyone, it's Nancy Keslin. I'm here with the CHA Designer Section Google Hangout. Today our guest is Simone Collins. She is the Chief Content Officer for Prime Publishing, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about what Prime Publishing is, how we can get involved with online publishing, and of course Marjolaine is here as well as my co-host. So hi, and I'll let you guys introduce yourselves.
Hi, Simone. Thanks so much for joining us. How about we start by having you tell us what is Prime Publishing?
Sure. So Prime Publishing is an online publisher of 30 different cooking and crafting websites, which a lot of people don't know. We have a whole cooking division of our company, which is really exciting. We started in 2009 with Fave Crafts, which is a site that most people know about in the crafting world. And now we have over, like I said, 30 websites. We get about 75 million page views a month, and we have over 7 million newsletter subscribers now. So we have a huge audience in the cooking and crafting world, and we publish almost daily for all of our websites, which is really exciting. We even have over 2 million people on social media, so we have a lot of people talking to us from all different avenues, which is really very exciting. And here in our Northbrook office, which is just outside of Chicago, we have about 50 people that work for Prime, and about 95% of them work in editorial. So it shows just how important editorial is in the online publishing world.
Since most of us are kind of crafty artist types, I guess we'll focus on that today. What type of crafts do you look for?
So we have a little quick list of words that we like to tell people that we look for all content, and it is easy, low cost, quick. So easy and quick are a little bit different, and very few materials or ingredients, and that applies to all of our content. That if you follow that recipe, those are the winners for us time and time again. So thrifty projects, recycled crafts, very fast crocheted scarves, things you can do in a weekend, things that require materials you have on hand. So someone who's not a crafter, because we get a lot of people through Google search that come and find our sites. They want to find like a quick project to do with their kids or their grandkids. And so they are looking for things that they can actually make the thing right with stuff they have in their house without having to run out to the store. And so those things are huge winners for us.
Great. So now would not be the time, though. What if I have, like, Valentine's Day is this weekend? Obviously, people are looking for Valentine's Day crafts. How far in advance should I be working for your editorial calendar?
Right. So a digital publisher works very similarly to a magazine publisher in that we add content super in advance. We like to get projects up 6 weeks before we hope to have people want to find them. So, for instance, we were adding Christmas crafts in July of last year. We were adding Valentine's Day crafts in November of last year. And so right now, when bloggers or companies try to send me a Valentine project, it's pretty much too late for this year. It's great for next year, but it's probably too late for this year. And so we always work 6 to 8 weeks in advance. And that's a great tip if you are blogging content that is seasonal or to a specific holiday, that you should be creating that content way in advance, 8 to 12 weeks in advance, to be able to send it to a publisher and get it up in time for their editorial needs. We're putting out newsletters way back in January that was talking about Valentine's projects or projects you'll fall in love with. And so if we didn't have your projects in January, then they weren't featured. And so that's a really great tip, to think more like a magazine producer and work on that kind of cycle. And it's kind of funny when you're carving pumpkins in, for October in June and July. It's kind of weird when you're making ornaments in July and August, but it helps us as publishers get the content that we need when we need it and early enough so that people will be able to find it online. We start publishing a weekly Christmas newsletter for Fave Crafts. It comes out every single Sunday starting in July. So in July, we go to Christmas every single week. And so it'd be great if we had more new Christmas content way back in the summertime. But it's hard to get bloggers to submit projects back then for new content because they're usually working on Christmas crafts in November, October, those kind of months. So always think ahead to 6 or 8 weeks would be ideal.
Okay, let me just remind people, in the upper right-hand corner, there's a little set of boxes. If you click that, you can go to the Q&A. If you have any questions for Simone, just type them in and we will get them answered for you. So you talked about that you have a weekly Fave Crafts publication for Christmas. How often are you producing content, and what type of content are you producing? Daily, weekly, monthly? How much is that happening?
So most of our websites produce a daily newsletter. The ones that aren't producing daily are probably 4 or 5 times a week, so they're almost daily. And the other publications that we produce are the magazines, I Like Crochet and I Like Knitting, and those come out 6 times a year. It's a paid subscription that people buy and get on their iPads. And for those, we're looking for content 6 months in advance almost. So for instance, today we're shooting here at Prime Publishing for an issue that's going to come out in the summer in June. But they're shooting summer pictures in February, which is hilarious here with the snow that we have in Chicago. So those are some of the things we do. We also do a daily Project of the Day newsletter for 4 of our titles. So there's one for crochet and knitting, Fave Crafts, and sewing. And those just shoot out a simple project each day to our subscribers that want to receive that. And it highlights the best projects. So if we have a project that's a real winner, like a 2-hour, throw or a no-sew quilt, which would be amazing. Those are the kind of projects that people really want to see, and we, put those in this Project of the Day newsletter. So in addition to the 6 newsletters that a subscriber on Fave Crafts will get that has lots of content in them, they'll also get a newsletter every single day, 7 days a week, of a new project in their inbox every single day. And our audience is pretty receptive to the newsletters that we send out and the mailings that we send out. They click a lot, and so depending on what kind of content you have, that's how we know if people like it or not. It's very different than the days of the magazine where, the magazine goes on the stand and you can't tell which project is a winner. I'd be able to tell my boss that this is the best project and it should be on the cover, and he would never know whether it really was or not, if the consumers really liked it or didn't like it. Now, we say our readers are voting with their mouses and keypads 24/7. So every single day on any of our sites, in the upper right corner, you'll see a What's Hot section that features the top 10 projects from that site. And it's true. We have no way of fudging those numbers. People ask us a lot, like, can I be in the top 10? There's no way of doing that. It's all based on traffic and what people are clicking on. And so you can quickly see what people love on the sites. And it's really interesting to see how people behave.
So you have a contest going on right now with Fave Craft. Can you tell us about that?
Sure. So at the Craft and Hobby Show back in January, as we have the last 2 years, we hosted a huge party with bloggers to connect bloggers with each other, which is fantastic. I love seeing all my friends in one spot at one time, and also connecting bloggers with the brands that really want to work with the bloggers. And, we see it all over, all the advertisement now. I just got an advertisement this morning from Old Navy saying, check out this denim that this blogger can't live without. And so there are brands that really know the power of the blogger. And we wanted to connect those brands with the bloggers that are really great to work with, that have amazing content, great projects. And so we host a party every year at the Craft and Hobby Show like we did this year. And we had 126 bloggers in attendance at the Craft and Hobby Show at the party. We also have a small group of bloggers that are unable to attend the show that produce a lot of content for us and are great to work with. And so those bloggers, they also, similar to the bloggers in the party, received a box of product from some of the sponsors of the event. So everyone who attended the party received a box of goodies at their doorstep, which is fantastic, and so did a very small group of other bloggers that we work with on a continuous basis. Then from those supplies or from any of the sponsors that were at the event, you can create a project and submit it right on the Fave Crafts website for a chance to win $1,000. And since there are only 150 bloggers total, the chances of possibly winning something is really amazing. And so first prize is $1,000, second prize is $500, and third prize is $250. And all the projects that are submitted are rounded up into an ebook that is featured on the Fave Crafts website, as well as Amazon and Apple. And you can actually go to Amazon, Apple, or Fave Crafts and see last year's book, which is called the Ultimate Crafts, I think, of 2014. And it has 47 projects in it, which is amazing. From that, all the projects submitted, the cool part is that after all the projects are submitted, they'll all go up, and we open it to voting to our readers as well as, you can tell, your readers. And so whatever the top project is, whoever wins the $1,000 is absolutely 100%, has nothing to do with me or anyone on staff here. Thank goodness. It's all up to the readers and the consumers to vote on which project they think is the top project of the year.
Now, do you prefer just the project photo, or do you like full tutorials?
I'm losing my train of thought. For the contest, it has to be a full project. We like both. So if you're submitting content to us, we like to receive full projects, and we also, for bloggers, will add projects, do a review of the project, we call it. We write a little bit about the project, and we get one photo, and we include a link out to that project on your site. So in order for them to see the full project, all the steps, all the materials, etc., they actually have to click on that link. And we only do that for bloggers. So company projects are always in full, and blogger projects have the ability to have a link out, which is great. And we love it because for popular projects, bloggers will receive traffic, and I hear every single month a blogger will email me and tell me that I was their top traffic source for that month, for that week, for the year. A lot of bloggers tell us that we are their top traffic source for the entire year, that we produce the most. A great project on Fave Crafts that's featured in a newsletter and gets clicked, or crochet or knitting, will get somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 visits to that blog in that one day, which is pretty amazing, and it'll tell you exactly if they love the project that you've added. We like the full project and the link out because we like to show them both. So we want to give them a chance to see how your projects are in full, but also we want to give you some love back. So if you're submitting projects to us, we prefer both, a mix of both. And I tell bloggers all the time, if you're submitting projects to us, like I said, we have 22 craft websites. So if you have projects on any of the niche sites, so we started with Fave Crafts that has every single craft under the sun. And from that, we niche them down. So we have one for almost every niche. We have a crochet and a knitting and a sewing and, paper, Christmas crafts only, a holiday crafts only. So if you have projects that fit into any of those, you can submit them to all of them. So you're a blogger, you can be on Christmas crafts, you can be on holiday crafts, you can be on Fave Crafts, you can be on sewing, you can be on every site of ours that you have a project for. And I tell people to get out there and be on all the sites because the readership for the sites are different. So the subscribers that subscribe to Fave Crafts might not subscribe to All Free Crochet, might not subscribe to All Free Kids Crafts. So if you have projects to put on those sites, then target those people and get on those sites as well, which is really great. And so spread the love. Go out there, find all your Christmas crafts. You could post those all year round. We take them all year round, and it sounds crazy, but there's 2 newsletters a week that come out for Christmas crafts all year round, and people love it.
Okay, so I want to post. How do I post? How do I get involved? I don't even know where to start. I mean, if I'm just getting started, where do I go? Who do I send? What do I email?
Well, there's a secret door knock. It goes like this. Knock, knock. What's really great is this year we spent a lot of time and effort at the end of last year planning for this year, and we now have the ability that you can add all your own projects yourself on every single craft website that we have. So if you go to Fave Crafts, if you go to All Free Sewing, if you go to All Free Kids Crafts, right now in the top menu you will see Submit Your Project. And if you click on that, it will pop up a form for you to enter, and you can enter as many projects as your heart's desired. So you can put in all your kids' projects on Kids Craft and put all your crochet stuff on Crochet, or put some crochet on Fave Crafts, and you can do that right now. And they're going to be they add all the projects into our system, and when they go live, if you haven't worked with us before, it will shoot you an email to tell you your project is now live on whatever site, and here is the link, which is really great too, to notify you and let you know that it's live. You can send as many projects as you want.
That sounds great. Okay, so obviously you're going to draw a lot of traffic to my blog. Can I get paid? Do you have any paid?
That's a really good question. That's the magical question everyone wants to know. Can I get paid? Yes, the answer is yes. So we definitely buy projects for the two magazines, the Knitting and the Crochet magazine. I like knitting and I like crochet. If you go to their websites, there is a contact us form on those websites to submit patterns to their editors. It's just like a traditional magazine, so you submit your project ideas and the colors, and then they approve or disapprove. They have a very specific editorial schedule, so they know exactly what they're looking at and what they need for their magazines coming up. That's for those magazines. For our websites, we also have some paid opportunities for projects. Blogging, we have 6 different craft blogs. It just depends on the opportunities that we have at the moment, and the best way that we can communicate what those opportunities are with the bloggers is through our Facebook group. So we have a Prime VIB group that is a closed group only to bloggers, where we post all of our opportunities, and that's the easiest way for us to post what opportunities we have available, and how much they pay, and what we're looking for. And then we have people submit, and we do look at your site because we're going to read what you've written, and we want to see how much editing will we need to do. Does it meet more of what we think are the company standards for the way the materials are? Is it too confusing and no one's going to be able to figure it out? And so we're looking for people that write really well. I'm also really looking for, it's not so much about your traffic or how many people follow you on Twitter. To me, it's more about if you're on time and you're producing the content that you told me you would. So if you're telling me you're going to, give me a blue sweater and you send me a red one and it's a week late, there's a lot of bloggers that are willing to come in on time and give the content that we really want. And so just keep that in mind. And I think a lot of publishers and even companies and brands are like that they really want, I value people that are on time so much that if you're on time and you give me the materials in the way that I've asked them for them, and they're great, I will work with you 1,000,000 times over.
Okay, great. Just really quickly, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. There's a little set of, like a keyboard, 9 little boxes. Click on that. That's your toolbars, and you can just type in a question.
So Simone, what kind of calls do you have right now?
Right now we're looking for bloggers to write about crafting or creative business ideas. So we have a blog called the Creative Income Blog that has all this content about selling at craft fairs, selling on Etsy, blogging, social media, etc. that's geared for creative types. And so we're looking for people that can blog about that have experience in that realm. There's a call for that right on the Prime VIB group. So you just fill out a form and send that in, and that's actually a paid opportunity. There's also a call for, we're trying to do a tropical theme this week. So there's a call in the Prime VIB group for that. So we're going to be sharing all of your content all over our social media, all over our blogs and things like that. So that's also in the Prime VIB group. And there's a call going up this week about blogging for our recipe blog, recipechatter.com. And there's another call going up this week for projects to be featured in the ebook alongside other brands. Some bloggers and brands are going to be in this ebook for National Craft Month. So if you want to do something huge for National Craft Month, we're doing a giant giveaway for an entire month. Stay tuned because that's going to be posted also in the Prime VIB group. We really find that's the easiest way. We were sending out emails to people and they just weren't opening them, or maybe they went to spam, or we're not sure, but the Prime group seems to be the easiest way to tell people and get in touch with people and get content quickly.
Okay, so I guess we know a lot about working with Prime, and you mentioned a little bit about your trends. So can you talk some more maybe about what kind of trends you see that are popular, since you can really see where people are clicking, what kind of things maybe we should be creating for these calls that you have?
So the most popular right now is going to be recycled crafts are going to come up because Earth Day will be in April. So the most popular things for us, 100,000,000% is going to be recycled crafts, followed by tie-dye. So we actually get a really great audience for tie-dye, and we're going to start gathering as much tie-dye content as we can starting April. So if you have anything tie-dye, we would love to have it. Also super popular are no-sew projects, because again it goes along with the easy and quick, and you don't even need a machine. So anything that's no-sew. Also, the daily planners and calendars were so popular at CHA, so anything like that would be amazing. And gold, holy gold. The Craft and Hobby show is just full of metallic and gold everywhere, and so if you have gold shimmery things, we would love it.
Do you have any funny stories that you can share with us about your job?
Oh, goodness. My boss may see this video. Well, I always tell the girls in the office, I do have something pretty funny. So most of the editorial staff here at Prime are just our editors, mostly out of college, so they don't have very much crafting experience. A lot of people start crafting once they start working here, which is really funny. And so a lot of them wear scarves and jewelry and things that look like they're handmade a lot. And so my running joke in the office is, did you make that? And they always say no because they didn't. And I always say, you always say yes. Someone says, did you make that? Yes, I did. I made this cowl. And so we always joke about that. So it's gone to the part, the point of, oh, you got new shoes. Did you make those? And it's really funny. And so we're always like, yes, hashtag handmade. And I always think that's really, really funny. I also tell people the story of my experience with Craft Gawker, which I think is amusing, but a lesson. So I always say make friends with editors because they will always, share your content. And I'm notorious for reaching out to people on Twitter and just saying, hey, you're the editor of such and such, let's be friends, or hey, I have this, let's do this. And so I once had a project that I made myself that I wanted featured on Craft Gawker, and they wouldn't take it. And it was an adorable picture of a dog in a Harry Potter costume, so I basically just kept asking them on Twitter and calling them out, to which then we became friends. So make friends with editors, reach out to them. Twitter is the best because Twitter you could talk to anybody you want. You could find the editors of other online publications and make friends with them, and then they know you. So there's a little fun tip for bloggers or designers trying to get published.
So do you have any other tips for maybe how to reach out to other online publications? Anything to get people started?
So as I was telling Nancy, as I was telling you today, I get about 115 actual emails a day that I have to answer. So if you're emailing an editor, they're probably getting around that as well. I say keep your emails extremely short. Reach out once, wait 2 weeks, and follow up. Keep your emails to the point of you're telling them exactly what you want to do and when you can do it and how much you want to get paid. Keep it very brief like that. If you're telling them, I want to make this project that's going to be read, I can give it to you on this date and it will cost you nothing, I assure you that an editor would email you back pretty quickly. And if they don't, then follow up them in a couple weeks, because we are generally at certain times of the year very, very busy. It just depends on, you know, where you're working, but there are certain times of the year that I really can't even, I want to reply to some people and I really can't at that moment, so it might take me a couple days to get back to you. There's also no harm in, you know, reaching out to an editor. I had someone, you know, reach out to me a while back and said, Simone, I want to make, you know, videos for you. Simone, I want you to publish a book. I want to be the author. And I said, okay, tell me about it. So it's really helpful. Just throw out your idea. You know, it would be great if Prime published this ebook by me and it would have these 15 projects in it. That would be great, because then it eliminates the back and forth, which I think a lot of people, not just in, you know, publishing, but a lot of people in general, spend a lot of time with the back and forth, when if you just got all the details in that first email, it would be super helpful.
Okay, great. We have a lot of questions for you. How do I go about joining the Prime VIB group on Facebook?
Okay, so it's a closed group, but you can find it. So if you search for Prime VIB on Facebook, you will be able to find it. The other thing you can do is you can email the editor of Fave Crafts. So it's if you want to reach there's a really great tip. Just pay attention to this one. If you want to email any editor at Prime, you just email editor at whichever site it is you want to talk to.com. So if you want to talk to the editor of Fave Crafts, you would email editor at favecrafts.com, and they would get that. So they can also send you an invite for the group, and you would just email the Fave Crafts editor.
Okay, great. Is there a limit on how many projects can be submitted? So if I have 42 crochet patterns that I've done this year, is that okay?
I will take them. I will take 142. I will take them all. Now that we have the user submitted project area, which is really great, the problem for us is you might send me 42 projects and then I have to manually retype your project into our system, and now we have a seamless way that we can literally add your project in 5 minutes because you've typed it in for us. So send me your 42 projects, send me your 100 crochet projects, and in fact, crochet is probably our hottest category. They are the most active. They're the most active on social media, and they're the biggest Facebook page that we have is all free crochet. So I'd love your crochet projects. Send them.
Okay, if I'm submitting a book, what format do you want that in?
We probably would need it in separate projects. So we would never republish a book, basically. If you want to submit a book proposal to have a book published, we actually have a book proposal form. So you would just email the editor of Fave Crafts and they could send that form to you.
Okay, I told you there was a lot of questions.
Yeah, I love it.
When submitting projects, do you need a link to the project and instructions on our own blogs, or are you looking for original projects?
So that's a great question. We would love both. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We're just trying to give people a place to find a whole bunch of projects in one place. So instead of running around to all the blogs to find, you know, one type of project, we love to give them an array of projects all in one place. So if you have a project you had on your blog from 2 years ago and it's a really great project, our readers, if it's an evergreen content, won't know the difference really. A project that was great when we first started in Fave Crafts might still be one of our best projects today, and actually that's pretty true for a lot of them. So we want both. And do we need a link? So we need a link only if we're linking out to the project on your own blog. So if you're submitting a project and you want us to link to you, then just don't give us the full instructions. Only give us the link to the full tutorial on your site. But they always have to be full tutorials, which is sometimes a challenge. A lot of people like to share what they made and say, check this out, isn't it gorgeous? And it is. But I actually need to know the steps on how to make it. So that's one requirement that we do have, is that it's a full tutorial.
Okay, back to the publishing. I have a book idea, and let's say we do end up working together. You're going to publish my book. Do you pay for it? Are you going to pay me for my book?
Yes. Quick answer is yes.
Okay, well that's easy.
You would send an email, and we would figure out what it is you want to do. So I think that's another little tip for bloggers, that if you know, when you work on the brand side, it's really very clear to what brands want. And, you know, the one thing is, you know, think about what do you want? What are you trying to get? Are you trying to get views to your blog? Are you trying to sell books? Are you make money that way? Do you want to get more people to be fans on your Facebook page? And so that's a question I always ask brands, because it's very easy for them. They always say, they know right away. They'll say, you know, we want to get more email newsletter subscribers, or we want to get more traffic to our site, or we want to sell this new product that I sell on my site. And so for bloggers too, it'd be great to know, like, why do you want to produce this book, and what are you hoping to get? Because then it'll help us, especially because I'm the one that comes up with the strategies for the book, so it would really help me to know how to go with that book and how the compensation would look. But the compensation is right on the book proposal form as well.
Okay, and I think you already covered this, but we'll do it again because somebody asked.
Okay.
How new do projects need to be? Do you only want content that's brand new, or should we submit projects from the archives if they fit a particular niche?
Yes. We'll take anything, no matter how old it is.
Okay, so we had somebody come in late. Can you tell us about how many unique visitors you receive in 1 month? I don't even know if we talked about that.
I don't think I told you. So we get over 75 million page views, but unique visitors a month total for all the sites is about 45 million.
Okay, so I write early, but I schedule my holiday blogs to go out 2 months in advance. Should I shoot the blog content to you in July for Christmas, or should I just post it and send it to you in July? You know, what's the best way to manage that?
So my suggestion for bloggers is always to do a Christmas in July, either a week, a post, something, because it's not weird to people to say Christmas in July. Apparently they really like it. It's actually, if you look it up, it's a pretty good search term as well. So, I mean, that's something I would do. If you want us to publish the full project, you can just send it to us without making the blog post live. If you want us to link to it, though, it has to be live. So that's one way around it, is you can do a whole Christmas in July week if you wanted, or do a whole, blog hop with your friends and do a Christmas in July for the whole month. That'd be pretty fun.
Okay, so do you print books as well as doing the EPUBs? And if not, is there a way to have the book in print and also an ebook with Prime?
We print nothing. We don't print magazines or books at all. We only do digital. So if you were looking for a printed book, we do not do it.
Okay. I have a project that I think works well as a Christmas gift, an easy craft, a kid's craft. Can I submit it to all 3 publications?
You can. We try not to duplicate content across the sites. So whoever publishes it first, if you submit it to all 3, will probably be the one that gets it, and the other ones will not publish it. So my suggestion is, if you have a project that's a Christmas gift and an easy craft and a kid's craft, I would decide, do I have any more kids crafts? Do I have any more Christmas crafts? And if I do, then I would just divide them evenly across the sites, because Fave Crafts will even take Christmas and kids crafts. So in order to spread the love across the sites, which again I suggested, I would just pick from the pool and spread it out evenly everywhere. Just don't repost the same projects on multiple sites, because the editors will see it, and whoever did it first will basically get dibs on it.
Okay. Are there any plans to increase the magazines beyond crocheting and knitting?
Ooh, are there any plans? Maybe. The correct answer is maybe. We have currently no plan for 2015 to launch another digital magazine at this moment, but as you all know in the internet world, it could change like that. And so I would say, if you're not in the Prime VIB group, to get in it, because that's where all the calls go up for the magazines and things like that.
Okay, and on that, somebody commented that they are in that Prime group and they agree it's the best way to keep in touch. So
Yep. You're always welcome to email the editors, but all the opportunities really just go out immediately. Like we think of it, and it immediately goes out on the Prime group, so it's really easy to get in touch with us and find out what we really want and what we're looking for. And even if you ask a question, it's really great because I'll just jump on as myself and tell you right away.
Well, believe it or not, that was all the questions. That was quite a few. So thank you everybody for having coming in and asking all those great questions. I guess we ran a little late. If we want to wrap it up, Marjolaine, do you have anything to add?
No, I don't. This was very informative. Thank you so much, Simone. This was a really great hangout, and I think we all look forward to working with you.
Great. Thank you so much for having
me. You can expect 128 emails today because I think you're going to be really busy. A lot of people are going to want to talk to you. A lot of people. So thank you so much for coming. As always, we will have this posted into our YouTube page. If you have any further questions for Simone, for myself, for Marjolaine, you can go ahead and leave them on the event page. You can leave them on the YouTube page. If you're part of our CHA group on Facebook, you can leave them there, and we will do our best to get you the answers. Again, Simone, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us, and we'll look forward to working with Prime Publishing.
Thank you, ladies, so much.
Bye.